And we're back. Welcome to episode 8 of season 11 of McFizzle's Hardcore Survival World. And we're still in the ice base, checking out the villager farm, seeing if we've got any new villagers that we can hopefully add to our collection of villagers. But it's not looking... Usually you can tell. I can't see any newbies. Maybe I've run out of beds? There's room there for one more, I think, if I can wing it, but... I don't know. Is it a farmer, maybe? I've got a new farmer? Anyway, it's very weird. No, that one's... All of these guys are guys that I've dealt with before. Anyway, very curious. But I'm starting to get to the point where... Oh, there we go. We've got a little baby one, so he hasn't grown up yet. Ah, that explains it. But yeah, it's starting to get pretty crammed in there. So we're going to have to consider maybe getting some new space. Down in the livestock level, and as you can see, we're getting to the end of the placing of the walls of the 2-block high level of the livestock level. So it's looking pretty good. Just fill this in and I'll show you how it looks. Oops. I'll take that back, put it in there. Okay, that's how it looks. We've got the 2-block wide torches set up. It goes all the way around here. Looks pretty good. Now it's almost ready to have livestock down, but I do need to extend it up a bit. Start digging away all of those levels there and fill in this level with ice. Then we can transfer some livestock down there, I hope. But yeah, as well, my little alarm has gone off, so it's time for bed. So I'll leave you guys. So we're going to start... I'm thinking I'm going to put in here a trading hall. I'm going to make a trading hall, but I've just got to check my map here. So I'm 735, yeah, 868. Okay, so the wall is 3 blocks thick here. So I'm going to just dig out these 3 blocks. 2, 3. Is it 68? Yeah, 3 blocks here. So yeah, dig that out. And then I'm going to try and connect these walls to the surface up the top. So I'm going to dig out and use these signs here to protect me from the water and hopefully be able to climb up to the top and connect the blocks. So we've got a bit of so when I build the trading hall, it'll be well protected. So yeah, you can see here. Right, we're in this area where I got my villagers from originally. There's a village, you know, many blocks away. I built this train line that I'm just destroying here. What I'm doing is I'm relocating the villagers that I had in the villager farm and moving them back here, so I don't have to murder them as I did in the last episode where it was pretty cold-blooded murder. So I read somewhere that it's not good for your villager morale And so it can affect your trades and how much things cost. And, you know, it's just not a nice thing to do. So I'm moving them back here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get them back here and not and keep them so they've got somewhere to sleep, so they'll be safe. So if I do need to trade with them, that's fine. At the moment, I just need to move them out of there, give myself a bit more room to add new bodies and to start a trading hall, which I've never really done before. So I'm going to try and do that. And I'll see how it goes. I'm going to clear out a bunch of this stuff too. Try and make it a bit easier to get around. But yeah, I'm going to have to... looks like I'm going to have to make some temporary sort of shelters and stuff. So a week has passed and I've moved a bunch of villagers down here, but I need to create some sort of shelters for them to live in, because there's not enough space and buildings for them to live in. So I'm making these temporary shelters out of cobble just around near where I dropped them off the train line. So that's where I'm at the moment. I'm going to have to... I haven't put the beds down here yet. Because I found that the villagers were spawning in new villagers down here, which I don't want. So I'm going to try and keep the beds just in storage until I get the most of the villagers down here, and then I can put some beds out for them to stay in. Yeah, I'm giving them some windows and stuff like that. And just in each one there'll be a bunch of workstations and some beds, and so there'll be multiple ones of these sort of temporary shelters all over the place. Because yeah, I've got about 15 or so villages to move. This is how it's going so far. I'm happy enough with it. It's going to be good, I think, when it's all done. Another in-game week has passed, and I'll show you the progress that we've made on the temporary shelters for the migrating villages. You can see we've got a couple of shelters over this side, and we've got some more over there. You can see in the distance there. There's no room for them in there, but this is where I was starting in that last little section. There's a whole bunch over here that I've already finished, that I prepared earlier. So I've made a significant amount of production. I'm getting close to having enough shelters for all of the villagers. I've got each one has about a room for 4 villagers to sleep and for 5 villagers to work, which I don't know how it works. I haven't really gone into the detail, but they seem to be happy. They're hanging around their little workstations, and they've got some place to sleep when it gets night. Eventually I'm going to give them more permanent shelters, if all goes to plan, and I might relocate out here for a little while and make it a bit nicer for everybody. But at the moment, I just want them to be safe and make up for my past indiscretions of villager murder. 2, 3, 4, 5 celebratory jumps for the 500 days of survival in my hardcore survival world. This is where we're at with the villagers. We've got 3. We've finally got our next villager bred. So now we've got to figure out how to move these guys downstairs into a designated breeding area. I'm not really sure how it's going to work with the beds, and I'm not sure how it works with how far they have to be away from beds or from workstations and whatnot. But I just want to get going, and so I'll probably just keep using them, just keep placing new beds down just to get some sort of villages going. But it's looking like I'm going to be going down on the second level to... I'm going to move them down a level and keep the top floor pretty much to myself, and then have everything else underground. So that's the plan. I think the villages are going to be over, the breeding area is going to be over this side of the base and the trading hall on the other. Another sweet bedrocky glitch to open up the this little section. You can see all of the farms and the livestock level right down the bottom and through the ice and the lighting and everything. So it's I always like documenting those. I think they look pretty cool. So we'll show you where we've decided, where I've decided I'm going to put the villager breeder. It's going to be over this side. It's going to be through here. And so hopefully I can just place it here on this little space, and I'll have some gates and stuff like that. I'm going to have to make these walls out of glass eventually. If necessary, I can move the breeding area further away. But at the moment, I just want to get some sort of area, and so I'm going to just fill this area up. So I've been using the signs to help keep out the water. But yeah, I've got to get some ice, and I've got to get some glass to sort of make the area inhabitable for villagers. Another in-game week has passed, and I've completed the temporary villager breeding area, and I've decided this is where, just following these rails, over here is where the trading hall is going to be, and I've got to start working on that. I'll get them over there, take them by rail over here, and then just chuck them straight in and get them to work. So now I've got to start working on this section, and whenever I'm digging into the walls, I've got to figure out exactly how the thickness is. So where am I? I'm on, it's looking like 864. It's about 3 blocks thick, the wall here, and then there's another sort of section where what are we on? 862. So we're sort of in between 3 blocks thick, but this one here is 3 blocks thick. And so from there forward is all going to be outside of the perimeter of the base as constructed now. So it'll be a little add-on area for... We're just replacing some rails here where they got washed away when I was putting some more walls in. So that's what that's there for now. But I'm going to move it so it's closer to... There'll be a little tunnel there, and this is where the trading hall will be. So I'm just going to dig out like a 5-block square, and that's where I'm going to start the work on the trading hall. And it shouldn't take too long. Like I've got the problem with being on this level is I'm going to have water issues from above, but I should be able to dig it out a little bit on the floor. I want to have 2 blocks thick, floor, roof, and walls. So I'm a bit more protected. And then I don't really care. I don't really care how long it goes for. I can have it sort of snake backwards and forwards if I want. I can have it go all around the perimeter of the base. But I generally just want it underground, not underwater, if that makes sense. Some problems I'm having here with the villager breeder, which I thought might have been an issue. It looked a bit too simplistic the way I had it, so I'm trying to iron out these things. I've got to feed the villagers to get them to breed. I've read somewhere that, you know, I've trialed and error and it seems to take a fair bit of bread, so I'm just going to bake some bread here and get some more. Hey, the trophy was earned. Bake bread. Yes. So at least we got one trophy this video. So I'm going to try and feed the villagers and see if that helps them get in the mood to breed. Because yeah, since I've transferred over one guy, these two haven't been very cooperative. We've got one Fletcher, but we've got another one over there. Just make sure they're each getting some bread. And hopefully they will become amorous with one another. But we'll see. You don't get in the way. You've got to share the bread with your friend. Everybody's got to have bread. So it's been 10 days and we still haven't really sorted out the issue. This is what we've been doing. We're testing them for food to make sure they've got enough food. So I've done a bit of research. It doesn't need to be a lot of food, like 3, you know, as long as their inventory is full of food, they should be fine. But as you can see, I've given them 3 carrots each, and before I started this little part of the video, I was giving them a lot more bread, but it hasn't helped. And so now I'm putting beds down and seeing if the extra beds help. See, they're connecting to the beds, which I don't understand because they're standing on beds. You'd think they'd be connecting to the beds that they're standing on, but they're not. Which is another frustrating thing. So this guy is connecting to that bed that I just placed. And still no relations. And so now I will try another bed and we'll see what happens there. That's working. So now we've got 6 beds and we've got, this will be our 6th villager. So it's a, this is the trading hall. This is the quick tour. We've got our Fletcher guy there and all the rest of them are our scholars or whatever they're called, the guys with the lecterns. So you can see there I've got an unbreaking 3 guy, I've got a fortune guy, I've got efficiency, I've got mending, I think this guy is, and this is my newest fellow. His name is, I can't remember. I think he's just the bookcase guy because I needed some more bookcases. And so I've just placed down another lectern for the new villager. I cannot remember what these guys are called for the life of me. I just think of them as scholars. So now I put down this little rail cart, mine cart, whatever. And then I wait for the right guy, because once I've placed that lectern down, one of these guys turns into the type of villager that I want, the profession, and then I try and get him to go down to the spot by putting him in there. But as you can see, I've got a villager stuck in the way, which is annoying. Another week has passed and I've just had it with the current setup for the villagers. So I'm deciding I'm going to have to move things around. And one of the things that I need though is bone meal to keep getting. I need them for blue flowers, I need them for white dye for my glass and stuff like that. So I've decided to make an automatic bone meal farm using a composter, which I've never done before. but that area that I just was is filled with water. So instead of just, I tried sort of building it on top, but it was just getting annoying. So I'm just decided I'm going to fill in the whole area with sand and take it from there. So I'm heading back over to my little sand farm here. I'm going to have to dig all of this sand up. So I'm just going to probably spend the rest of the video over here digging up sand because I need it, and I'm going to need it for glass anyway. So that's the next sort of stage, I think. I've got a bunch of villagers, but it's sort of becoming annoying, and some villagers will not change their professions. So I'm working on it. Back at the compost bone meal farm location, and I'm just starting the process of filling this area up with sand. I'm just going down here. Occasionally I get stuck underneath the ice, so it's going to take a little while to fill all this in, but I think it'll be worth the effort. And then I'm going to have to go around the outside with packed ice, try and make it blend into the base a bit, and take it from there. So yeah, see, here I am, I'm stuck under the ice, so I've got to dig it up a bit. But I think that's going to be, how's the day? Looks like it's ending, so I think I'm going to go out to about here, and I'll either go out this way maybe and blend it into that side, or maybe just have it go all the way over in this direction. I don't know, but at the moment that's where I'm at. That's there's always one thing leads to another thing leads to another thing, but that's where I'm at the moment. That'll be the end of this episode. Episode number 8. Just get in a position here. Oh, lost my helmet. I need a new helmet. Thanks everybody for watching. If you have any advice for me, any comments, feel free to leave them in the comments. I've also got an Instagram. You can check that. Link is in the bio. Bye!